The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. In this episode, seasoned real estate professional Oliver Kane shares his distinctive approach to conducting open houses, a strategy that has led to significant growth for his team. Oliver has successfully doubled his team's GCI year after year. Joining hosts Bob Stewart and Chad Hyams, Oliver reveals the innovative methods he employs, treating open houses not as mundane obligations, but as opportunities to create engaging events. This strategic pivot has enabled his team to hold over 500 open houses in 1 year, drawing in larger crowds and generating higher sales. His unique approach not only enhances visibility, but also increases the likelihood of closing sales swiftly, emphasizing the power of teamwork and strategic planning in the real estate industry. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast presented by Brivity.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Chad Hyams, how you doing, sir?
Bob Stewart, I'm fantastic, except it's good afternoon in my end of the world.
Yeah. Well, Oliver, our special guest, and me are here on the West Coast, where it's still before noon. Oliver, good to see you, man. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. Yeah, no, having a great morning.
Fantastic. So, Oliver, for those that join us every week, they know that Chad and I don't like to read your bio, although I'm sure it's impressive and well written. Do me a favor. Will you introduce yourself to our audience and tell them a little bit about who you are, where you're at, your team, and then maybe set us up for what we're gonna discuss today and suggest that they go out and maybe do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Oliver Kane. I've been with Place for about 3 years now, hung out for about 8 months during that onboarding process as that friend of Place and really kind of dove into the systems. We've been in here now for about 3 years. Started out with Place at about a 400,000 GCI. We did 850 in GCI the next year. We've closed out last year at just shy of 1.5 million GCI, right? So we've doubled every year that we've been with Place. And I account my support with Brivity, my marketer, and our open houses is how we've been doing that, right? We've ran events at very, very high levels. And with the support of Brivity and marketer, we've been able to kind of step that up. And that's where I think we've seen a lot of our growth. We did 500 open houses last year, just a little over 500 open houses.
500. So that's a massive number. And I want to dive into the open house and what you guys are doing. And I said this to you before the call. Sometimes when you see an idea, and it's so obvious that you're like, duh. They're like the best ideas, right? And once you've seen that idea, you're like, why hasn't everybody seen this idea? Why doesn't everybody do it this way? So tell me, what is the thing that's a little bit different about how you guys are doing your open houses that to me is that like, duh.
Yeah. No, so we're treating them like an event, just like we all do, our pie events and things like that. We decided about 2 years ago, like, hey, open houses are an event. Why don't we treat them that way? Right. So we're doing heavy marketing of them. We're making sure we're sharing them on social media at a high level. We're making sure the team shares them on social media. So we're getting out in front of, anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 people in that week leading up to it. But then what we're doing special and different, I think, is we're running them all day long. We're running them anywhere from like a 5 to 7 hour block, whatever we can fill. And we have our agents do just 2 hour windows. It's been very effective for our agents who maybe couldn't hold an open house that weekend because they didn't have 4 hours to put out signs, do a 2 to 3 hour open house and pick up signs. We've been able to, hey, you know what, just plug in the middle. We'll pick up the signs for you at the beginning. We'll drop them off, at the end, and take care of that for you. But we're running just 2 hour blocks. And then what we found from that is because now we have 5 or 6 agents doing it and we're sharing it so much heavier on social media, our agents are averaging about 10 to 12 people per their 2 hour block, where at your average open house, if you get 10 to 12, you're killing it, right? So we're seeing anywhere from 20 to 40 people roll through an open house on average.
So smart. Like, as I just sit here and unpack it, I'm like, let's just say we had 5, 8, we're going to run 10 hours, probably longer than you do mostly, but let's just say that was the deal, right? You guys are showing up there at 9 o'clock and you're running all day till 7 or whatever. You got 5 agents I got 5 agents that are going to do the work. I got 5 agents promoting it. I got 5 agents earlier in the week circle prospecting it. And you think about like a 2 hour open house, right? I'm out there, I'm one agent promoting it. there's people that I'm promoting it to that were like, oh, dang, it's from noon to 2. If it was from 4 to 6, we would show up. Right. And so, I mean, it's just in every little corner that I think about, you're getting like 5 times the amount of push towards that open house. It's brilliant. I think it's so smart.
Yeah, so not even the push too. I mean, that's we're getting for sure. But what we have seen is we are getting people, writing offers on our open houses within that first to second weekend because, right, they come in at noon and like, man, I love it, but I would love for my husband to see it, but he doesn't get off till 4 o'clock. You know what? We're going to be here at 4 o'clock. We'd love for you to come back and we'll show it to you at 4 o'clock, right? So we're capturing that agent or that buyer without them having to go and get their agent, come see the house back on Monday or after hours, right? We're going to be here, so just come on back by. My partner Josh will be here holding that open house, but if you have any questions, here's mine, and you can talk to Josh as well. And that's what we're doing. We're seeing, we're putting more of our own open houses under contract because of it too.
That's brilliant. Now, before we keep going, Bob, I've been meaning to mention this to everybody for a few weeks, whether this is their first do this podcast episode they're watching or whatever it is. Folks, how many of you actually use just one screen anymore? All right, Oliver, how many screens do you have running usually when you're on your computer? 2 or 3 or more?
I got 2 desks with 3 screens, right? I've got across the board, right? Yeah.
Bob, how many are you using? I know the answer is at least 2.
I'm a 2 screen guy, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And so am I. And I find it, right? Oliver's looking right at you. I'm looking right at you, although sometimes I go like this and everybody's like, what is he looking at over there? Bob, you never look at the audience because you're looking perfectly at like all your notes and you're looking at the screen. You're looking probably at Oliver and stuff instead of looking where your camera is. So folks, Bob's not ignoring you, right? And neither am I. I'm checking on my notes on Oliver that I've got over here when we do this. Oliver, that's a brilliant idea though about having that. Bob's making the good suggestion of, right, if I'm an agent, I'm guessing, do I do it from 10 to 12? Do I do it from 12 to 2? Do I do it from 2 to 4? When do I do it? You're doing all those times, which gives you that opportunity to bring people back. What are your agents? And folks, if you're a single agent out there, you can do this. Just go partner up with a few other agents and say, hey, let's all sit this open house together, right? And say, look, I get the 10 to 12 people, you get the 12 to 2, you get the 2 to 4. What are your agents' responsibilities? I mean, do they literally just show up? Are they expected to post on Facebook? Are they expected to circle prospect, door knock, any of those other things? What is an agent expected to do to earn the right to be 2 hours of this massive open house plan?
Absolutely, right. So, I mean, great point with single agents. We actually have an auxiliary team that only has 2 agents right now on it. We're building that up right now. They're in Florida. They're across the country from me. I'm in California, and they're running the same playbook as well. And we're using it for them as a recruiting tool, right? Like, hey, if you want to do our open houses, you need to come and you need to shadow me so I can show you how we do our open houses. And from that, then you can do the next 2-hour block, right? So we're actually using that as a recruiting tool to kind of make sure the agents are going to work to our standards. Here locally in our office, we have 12 agents. So we have standards you have to meet. You have to come to Power Up. You have to do that day in the life of Brivity, which is very important. You have to do these particular standards to kind of be first priority. But your absolute number one priority is Monday morning, you're calling to secure an open house because we want to be marketing heavily by Wednesday for that open house that is going to start Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? So secure that open house. From then, on Wednesday, after we get it posted live, then we're going to circle prospect. We'd love to circle prospect each of them, at least 100 people. Thursday, we get out there and door knock. Our typical open house, we're door knocking about 400 doors is what we're typically door knocking, right? Because again, we have 4, 5, 6 people out there doing it. So each person is doing about 100 doors, and we're able to kind of reach those people and touch them. Speaking of kind of Brivity and what we're here to talk about and, do this is we're using marketer at a very, very high level. So to do all this in the past, it would take me, a week of kind of prep time in Canva of like, because instead of building one open house flyer, we're building 5 open house flyers and we're putting that person's name, that person's QR code, and we have to make sure it's there. Now in Brivity, right, we just type in that agent's name, we build their flyers, and we're done in about 15 seconds, and we're ready to go. Land voice integrating into Brivity has been amazing. Because we can circle prospect out of that land voice now. We're still having to kind of port those numbers in for the neighborhood calls. But having that option to port them into Brivity and actually tracking our calls have been freaking great. But that's what we're asking people to do, right? We're asking you to find that open house. We're asking you to door knock, circle prospect, and make it worthwhile for you. But then day of, if you're that opening shift, you have to set up signs. If you're the closing shift, you have to pick up signs. But if you have a kid's soccer game to go to and you only have 2 hours to give, we're going to plug you into that middle section. You're going to be there for 2 hours. You're going to do what you need to do, get your sign-ins, and get off to your soccer game so you're not missing your family life either.
You mentioned you had an agent on your team that had back surgery recently who couldn't. Yeah. He could show up and sit in an open house, but he couldn't go out and put out the signs. He couldn't go out and pick them up afterwards. It's just a little bit too strenuous. And so he was able, you said 2 weeks after he had his back surgery, he was back in there and able to slot himself into one of those middle open houses. And you guys were able to kind of pick up the slack on the other, on the front and the back side of it.
Absolutely, right. So he didn't lose any time. He was out for a couple of weeks while he rehabbed, but after that, he plugged right back in and he was able to get some closings done during that downtime, where I think a lot of agents would maybe lose that opportunity if they didn't have this program.
Maybe there's somebody out there with the drunk monkey on their shoulder going, "Oh, your sellers are never going to go for this. They would never let us do an open house for 7 hours." Like, knock that drunk monkey off people's shoulders. Do your sellers give pushback? Do you guys present it in a way that makes it seem awesome? Like, what's the seller's kind of take on this?
Yeah. So, we're using our marketing as our huge leverage here, right? Like, when we're talking to our sellers, we're talking to people, like, marketing is where we beat people, right? Like, showing them marketeers, showing them our seller's guide, like, on our promise to you, this is what we're going to do. We're going to market your house better than anybody else. And to do that, this is our open house schedule, right? So we have a cool playbook. I actually put my email address in the chat. So if anybody wants our open house playbook, we're happy to share it.
Right up top. Scroll back up if you're in the chat and can't find it.
He actually hold on. I'm going to do it again because he put it to the hosts and panelists. I don't think everybody saw that email. So here, I'm going to drop. That's Oliver's email right there. It's Oliver at Roots.
Real Estate California, RECA.com.
Real Estate California, REC.
Yep. So if you guys, again, if they reach out to you, what are you gonna
we'll send this playbook. So we have this as a playbook, and we also have it as a PowerPoint slide presentation. We actually just taught this out in Florida. We were out in Florida a couple weeks ago and taught this to a market center out there. Part? We were in Lakeland, Florida. Our team was in Lakeland, so kind of right between Tampa and Orlando. So, and then I actually have my admin teaching this to a brand new place team. They're actually still in onboarding. They just came over last month. They reached out. We're teaching it via Zoom to them next week. So happy to share this with everybody. But how we're getting our sellers on board is, look, we promised you that we're going to get you maximum exposure. We promised you we're going to get you more money than that other team. So here's what we have to do, and here's how we're going to market it. The other thing we've done, it's been one of the best investments I've done. We did it's $1,900 for the year to get a year-long membership to Topgolf, and it allows free golf during the day. So I send a lot of my clients to Topgolf for 3 or 4 hours. Like, hey, go to Topgolf. I got you. We're going to cover golf for a couple hours. They use our card. They sign in, and we get them out that way. But we're and then
Wait, do you sell houses in Kenmore? Like, I want to go to Topgolf. Will you guys come listen?
I got one about 10 minutes away. Does your pass get me in down here?
It does. So that's the cool thing. It does work nationwide, right? So yeah, it was about just shy of $2,000, and we're able to get people in for a few hours of golf, right? So we try to give them that experience. Like, hey, get out, have some fun. My wife hates it, but I've had clients over in the summertime for barbecues during the day. Like, hey, get over to my house. But ultimately, I think if you pitch to them your value of look, we're going to get you maximum exposure. We're going to try to get this house off the market quickly for you. A lot of times in that first week, we say, hey, let's not do showings to really drive people to that open house. And let's just block out 3 days in a row where I need you gone. And that way it won't bother you during the weekdays, right? Let me try to get this house sold for you during this open house process. And that way you have your evenings back. And I'm not asking you to leave every 2 hours during the week,
I love that. The other thing I might do is give them that juxtaposition against what would a normal agent do, right? Look, a normal agent is going to come in here. They're going to 2 hours. They're in and out. They're probably doing it because you expect it. We don't treat it that way, right? We treat it like an event. We want to maximize the number of people that come through. We want to 5x the amount of push that we put towards this thing. God, that is just so smart. Again, it's one of those things where I'm like, why doesn't everybody do it this way always? And I get that not everybody has a team or whatever, but I think, I don't know, Chad.
They don't think about it that way. It's all right. Bob, people never thought of that. That's a brilliant. You're right. It's one of those, why isn't everybody doing it? That's brilliant. It's because we always thought open houses, we did an open house, right? We went out, we did the signs, we put the signs away. We never thought, hey, if I put the signs out, my friend can put the signs away and we can make this twice as long because there's people we're missing. And it's just so obvious. And now Oliver says it. And again, got a team, it's ideal. Don't have a team, go find some friends and all sit in open house together and work it out. 2 questions for you. 1, do most people want the opening shift and I've got to go put out the signs? Or do you have to overcome with your own agents? Do you have a system in place that I want that second shift. I don't want to have to deal with the signs. I never want to be that person. So that's question 1 I want you to tackle for me. And then question 2, I was never an open house fan. My D is way too high to want to sit around at an open house. And back in the day, we didn't know to do open houses like this, right? Where we really led up to it with circle prospecting and all the open houses was you put out a few signs that morning and you sat in the property and you hope people showed up. And in the city of Las Vegas, where I was at that time, nobody showed up because they were going to new construction. So there was plenty of time where I sat there and did nothing. And I think most realtors, right? Arnie, I'll make you an exception. Most realtors go to an open house and they sit on their butt waiting for people to show up. When nobody is coming through an open house, what are your standards and procedures for your people? So let's go back to the setting it up. Let's go back to, do they fight over which shift? How do you make that work for someone thinking about doing this? Yeah. And then what do they do when it's quiet?
Yeah. So we have a request form for open houses, right? So if you find the open house, if you secure that open house, if it's your listing, if you are the procuring cause of that open house, you get priority, right? What shifts do you want? After that, we have a Google request form and everybody puts in their request of what hours they want. And then we go by activities from the week. You know, are you showing up to Power Up? Are you doing the day in the life? Are you making your calls? Like, have you done this? And if you've done that, you get that priority for your slot that you picked. After that, it plugs in kind of as people ask for it. And then we go.
So I can't be a lazy agent on your team who doesn't do any work during the week and then show up and be like, I want the prime spot in the middle where I don't have to do any work on the front or the back. I just want to show up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you got to be doing the work because, I mean, that's what these open houses are about. It doesn't matter if you do open houses, if you don't do the follow-up, if you don't do the circle call, if you don't do the door knocking, like, why are you there, right? Like, why are you wasting your weekend is what I tell people. Like, if you're just not going to do it, just freaking don't waste your weekend, you know? So absolutely, right? So we have that Google request form that our admin goes through and we check, right? I mean, we have a standard of Power Up. And that's an absolute, right? We have a standard of that making your calls and doing the activities. And as long as you're doing them, then it's yours to give. The cool thing that we found is we've built camaraderie because of it. So like, I have guys out door knocking right now. Like they just left. It's pouring rain here where I'm at in California. They're out door knocking and they're not even doing the open house this weekend, right? They're doing it to support their teammates because in the past, people have done it for them, right? Like both of them are busy doing other stuff, showing houses. But they're out doing the door knocking because they had the availability today. So we've actually built this team camaraderie where like, hey, I'm going to help you because I know you're going to do it for me next time, you know? So we don't have a lot of fight for the middle shift. People like to plug in where they can plug in. Okay. And then if nothing is going on, right? So we've been lucky. This year has been pretty stinking good.
I was going to say, the approach you guys are taking, there's probably not a lot of time where nobody's in there because you guys are putting 5 times as much marketing effort towards that open house. But when they're not, when there are little slow times, which there always are, right?
Brivity Go. The Brivity Go app is freaking amazing. Who is in that neighborhood that we already know and call them and check on them? Like, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. I'm right down the road. We're holding open house, man. If you can make it down, I'd love to see you. If not, can I stop by and say hello when I'm done? Right. So Brivity Go is one of our favorite tools because if you're in that neighborhood, figure out who's in the area. If not, then catch up on your Brivity. Make sure you've tracked everything. We're running a competition just like Place does. We do a competition a quarter. And we are tracking contacts, pendings, and appointments right now, right? So we highly encourage our people, like, make sure those things are up and running because come Monday, we're announcing winners every Monday. So making sure people are up to date on their Brivity and keeping everything dialed in.
So they do some database cleanup stuff. So make sure that all the important metrics that we're tracking in the business right now are actually being tracked. They're making phone calls into their Brivity. And maybe number one is they're looking to see, is there anybody right here nearby that I can call right now and invite over to this open house or maybe strengthen a relationship with because I swung by for 5 or 10 minutes after.
Yep.
What's the follow-up plan? I mean, is it just the Brivity auto plan already? They came to an open house, they get dropped into what Brivity has, or did you guys plus it, or what's follow-up look like?
So every auto plan, I mean, that's something that I love about our CRM, right? Our auto plans, and the fact that we can share back and forth. So they're on the auto plan right away, right? We have about an 80% sign-in percentage. We've
Do you
done
use
really
the
good with the
iPad?
sign-in.
Are you getting them to sign in because you're using cute technology tricks, or
We're using the QR code. Yep. So we're using our Brivity marketer. We're building our QR code for everybody. We have a great bag that goes to every open house, and it has everybody. So the person who's opening that open house is bringing a bag with everybody's marketing in it, right? So it has the 5 QR codes in it for the day. It has a binder that has all of our comps. It has everything we need right there. And so when that new agent comes in, that new QR code goes up, and they're dropping right to that database, right? And then they're getting put on the auto plans right away. So auto plans right away. Follow-up calls on Monday, just for feedback and see how the week went and see if they looked at any other homes. And then from there, 10 days of pain. They get dropped in. We have an ISA. They get dropped into that 10 days of pain program to kind of really check in on them. If there is 1 or 2 people you feel that you made a really solid connection with, we ask, keep those in your database and get to work on them, and then drop everybody else into the ISA pond. And let our ISA kind of take on that 10 days of pain. So you're not spinning your wheels on, 10 people. You're focusing on your 2 kind of highest and best prospects from that event.
So good. And I think a lot of I guarantee right now there's a team on here, somebody that leads a team thinking, oh, my agents would never do that. They would never agree to give up 8 of their 10 leads that they generated. But I think because you've got this, everybody's bought in on this. They know that 8 of their leads are going to go to that ISA, and they're going to warm them up, and they'll get one of them back, and they might get one of somebody else's leads back from an open house from 2 months ago. And it's because everybody's bought in on this that you can get them to agree to just keep the 2 that were awesome and let the ISAs warm up the rest of them.
And the ISA can see where they came from too, right? So if that lead asks for an appointment or asks for a call, we can drop it right back to that slot point. The neat thing about our ISA too, a Brivity ISA, I mean, we are getting a screaming deal on our Brivity ISA because we're place members. And then Brivity is highly accountable to who that ISA is calling and if she's making conversion. In fact, we saw a dip in our conversion during the December month, and Brivity actually reached out and said, hey, we don't like how she's converting. Would you mind if we gave you another ISA at no cost to you to kind of help her make her calls and kind of shadow her? So the Brivity ISA has been freaking amazing. And on top of that too, they're building the filters for her. All right, we want her to call boom this today. We want her to call this today, right? Because they're seeing what's working elsewhere, and they're building filters for her.
I look, a small plug for Bryce Waldron, who runs the Brivity VA team. He's been doing, we kind of have a new program going with the ISAs. And so what happened there, Oliver, is we've got some standard, we're like, this is what we'd like to see from a conversion percent for standard. But some databases, just the nature of the leads and the prospects and the lists over the years that have been put in there, they're not as healthy of a database as maybe another database. And so what was happening there when they see those slightly lower conversion rates, that other person they brought in is like his baseline. He knows that other person, and he knows what they're capable of in a normal database. And so he's trying to understand, maybe you have a database that's heavy with lists and stuff, and so there's naturally going to be a lower conversion. But yeah, that's come a long way in the last 6 months or a year in terms of the way that we are really focused on the conversion for those ISAs.
Yeah, Bryce and team have been amazing.
Let's shift directions slightly. We're veering. Okay, so we're staying in the open house world.
Yeah.
But now that you've talked about the systems, the behind the scenes, the how to make it happen for everybody, and folks, go back, right? Watch the recording of it. Listen to all that again, how Oliver's talking about how they set it up, how they do it. Okay, script time. So I want to hear what your people are saying when they're doing the circle prospecting calling. What's the script that we're using to drive people? What's the script we're using when we door knock people? And then, so we'll do the pre, then I want you to get into for me, what is some of the scripting we do at the open house when someone comes in, And when someone shows some sort of interest, et cetera, what are the scripts you're teaching your team that our listeners should be going, yep, he's smart on how he does them, and he's saying the right thing too?
Yeah. So again, we're treating it like an event. Something that's in Power Up this week, if we're kind of following the ones that are provided to us this week, is FSBO's expired and like getting those listings. And yesterday actually was a list of, what's your top priorities on that call. Number 2 was building rapport. And that's what we're really focused on, is building rapport. Our flyers, our door knocking material, everything we have is like a birthday invitation. It says "You're invited" in big letters. It doesn't say open house; it says "You're invited." It has pictures of a charcuterie board. It has pictures of champagne glasses, right? And then it has the house, and it has our address. And then on the back side, it has the whole weekend schedule for open houses, right? So if you can't make it then, boom, you can make it here. So what we're doing is inviting people to an event. Like, hey, I'm Oliver with Roots Real Estate Group. Just wanted to let you know that we're having an event right down the street from you this weekend. Your neighbor decided to sell their home, and we put together a little happy hour or a little kind of cocktail hour like that. We'd love to have you come. We're going to have some snacks there, and would love for you to kind of see this home, right? And see how we market, right? So we really are putting together an event. We're not putting together an open house. That's what we're inviting people to. It's great because you get that.
Let me clarify, because you're doing an open house for, let's just say, 6 or 8 hours. Okay. Does it say on this marketing from 10 to 4? Or does it say on this marketing from 10 to 12 hosted by Bob, and from 12 to 2 hosted by Chad? Or is it just saying we're be there all day?
We're a team. We're a team. So we brand together as a team, right? We're all here to support each other. So it's just an open house during this hours presented by Roots Real Estate, right? I mean, so that's what we're putting out there, that we are here together. And then our agents deal with their QR codes as it is. So you get your sign-ins from there, right? But we're inviting you to an event. We're going to be here all day long.
Okay. So what's the script when we get them there?
When we get them. Yeah, when we get them there, obviously, right, make sure you're welcoming them out the door. Hopefully you have a QR code. We have QR codes kind of scattered throughout. If there's a gate, it's on the gate. If it's at the door, it's on the door, right? There's like 3 or 4 you walk through before you kind of get in that house. And then, right, trying to grab that QR code one more time. But again, like, hey, what has you out looking at real estate today, right? Or what brought you in today, right? So learn where they came from, because we want to track that. We're tracking, hey, did door knock and get you in here? Did social media get you in? So what has you out today looking at real estate is one of our favorite questions we ask, because, right, I'm just looking, or, oh, my daughter wants to move town, right? It really shapes that question. And from there, we dive into questions. Well, I mean, that's interesting. I'm glad you got a social media marketing. Like, what'd you think of it? Can you tell me a little bit more? Like, what were you searching to find that? And really digging in to find out kind of what drove them to that direction, so that we can kind of perfect that. So really focusing on what got you in is where we love it. And then from there, taking us where the questions lead, right? Like, I mean, okay, awesome. So you're looking for your daughter. Is your daughter in town? Does she want to come by later today? We're going to be here all day. Would love for her to come by and take a look at the house. If she can't make it, she's out of town, we'll actually have some pre-loaded video tours of this house already. Can I text you these video tours so you can send them to her, so you guys can just really enjoy the house and look around? Like, I've already made the videos for you. And really kind of diving into, how do we help and add value to these people?
Perfect.
This is like, I don't know. This is one of my favorite
tours. I love that you have the video tours ready to go, right? Because how many people are now about to pull their phone out and kind of walk through the house and get this really crappy video? You guys have them. Now, who's shooting those? Is that the procuring agent? Is that the first person that morning? Do you have a team you've already sent out in advance? How do you get those put together for everybody's sake?
If it's our listing, our photographer does it. So we've built relationships with our vendors, just like all of us are doing across this industry, right? So we've negotiating pricing with our photographer. And one of those things is we need Instagram quality video reels, right? So we need that up and down filming so we can do our posting and make our videos on Marketer too, right? So we're having our photographer get those. If it is not our listing and one of our agents secure it, on Monday, we ask them to get out to that property before day of open house, right? Like, go put eyes on this property, go understand this market, go walk the neighborhood, go door knock and get that video footage. So we're typically doing that on a door knocking day, about 2-3 days earlier to kind of grab that video. And then again, we have our flyers on our phone. We have everything on our phone. Just another way to grab that information from our people, right? Like, hey, let me text you a little bit more information about this. We have comps. So let me text you these comps. oh, this home doesn't have, that extra bonus room you're looking for. Well, what about this house over here on Main Street that's just a block away? Have you seen that one? Let me send you that, right? So we have a lot of the houses in our neighborhood kind of preloaded, ready to go, because we have it all in our binder. So when we put that binder together, I put all that stuff in my phone so I can just shoot it out via text message right away to people.
Brilliant. You're getting their phone number if they didn't give it to you when they signed in properly and gave you a fake number or something. Now you're having those conversations. You can make, did you get it? Right? You're standing right there with them to be, did you get it? Did you get it? And now you can confirm you've got their number. Folks, have something to text them.
Yep. So everything we have one of. We have one flyer, one comp, one that. Like, I have it here to look at, but I have these digital. Let me text them to you, right? I don't have that pile of everything to give them. I have one of them and say, hey, if that's valuable to you, let me text it to you.
Arne she laughed at something I said earlier, which was like the normal agent. And I don't know what the context was specifically, but I've been taking a page, Chad, recently out of Ben Kinney's playbook, which is I've been stopping by open houses as I see them. Like, literally, I might be bringing my kids home from school at 4:00 on a Tuesday, and like, if I see an open house, I've been stopping by them. And this is not the way most open houses work, Oliver. I go into a lot of open houses and I ask the questions that would key up perfectly for, oh, there's a listing down the street, and nobody ever says that to me. Nobody ever suggests another property.
Know your neighborhood. Yeah. No, you got to know your neighborhood. You got to know what you're selling. You got to know. I mean, that's what Ben has preached forever, right? Like, preview 100 homes, right? You need to be previewing homes. You got to know what's out there. Because whether you be circle calling, whether you be an open house, whether you be just talking to someone at the coffee shop, right? Like, if you can say, man, what about this house down the road? Did you know about this one? I mean, it just shows that you are a professional, right? You know your craft.
Yeah. So true. Hey, Oliver, this was amazing, man. Thank you. Again, it's one of those
I will R&D all of this.
But hey,
yeah, we'll send you the playbook.
Listen, once with those no duh type of things, once you see or hear them, you can't unsee or unhear them. And now every time you're sitting in a 2-hour open house, you should be thinking to yourself, man, I wasted a lot of effort and energy for just 2 hours here, right? Like, really good stuff, Oliver. Thanks for joining us today, man. I really appreciate it. And I know you got a big business that you're going to double again this year in 2025. So get back to work, man. Thanks for taking the time out to join us today.
All right, Chad, Bob, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
All right, you guys, we'll see you next week. Go do that. Go make your open houses better. Good stuff,
Amen.
Oliver. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye.